Hello, everybody. We are back with another Hear Her Sports Fast Track. I'm your host, Elizabeth Emery. In a nod to family holiday time, today's guest is Lilah Thompson, my cousin's daughter. Lilah is here to talk about the recruitment process, which as a high school sophomore, she is just beginning to navigate. Lilah also plays basketball and softball, but discovered volleyball only about a year ago. She has absolutely found her sport and shines at it. She is the only sophomore on her school's varsity volleyball team and plays for the Avidity Volleyball Club on the top level team for her age group. She has been recognized with the Most Improved Award for the 2018 season, named a New England Conference All-Star in the fall of 2019, and was just named one of the best high school athletes of the season in the Boston Globe. Lilah and all her teammates are fortunate to have a female coach. It's always great to recognize female coaches since there are so few of them out there in all of women's sports. So here's a grateful shout out to Killeen Miller, who coaches Lilah's high school and also her club team. I'd love to hear about your recruiting experience. Email elizabeth@hearhersports.com or call the hotline 725-BE-BADASS. And now let's meet Lilah. Well, hi, Lilah. Thanks for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Over the years, I've seen you try a lot of different sports, and your reaction to volleyball has been so different. What is it about volleyball that you like so much?
Well, it's like the people that you start to play with, you get so close so fast, and it's so fun to be involved in everything because every time the ball comes over to your side, half of your team usually gets a touch. And so there's a lot of action that you get to be a part of, no matter what position you play. And I think that's one of the most fun things about it because you are always getting better a lot faster because you're always getting the ball.
And how long have you been playing volleyball?
Well, I started my freshman year of high school and I did some clinics over the summer in preparation for it. So it'll have to be like just about a year. A little over a year now.
Oh, not that long. Why did you think that you would like volleyball?
Well, actually, I won a volleyball scholarship and my mom made me like use the money for it and at a camp. And then it was actually a lot of fun. And I asked my friends if they were considering doing it. And a lot of them were. So I said, why don't I just give it a shot? And I tried out. They needed a middle blocker on JV. And so I skipped JV2 and just went to JV, even though I had never played.
Cool.
So I just kind of was thrown into a little bit of a higher level, which was helpful because I got to learn it a lot faster and got kind of more advanced than some of my peers who hadn't ever played before, just like me.
Mm-hmm. What do you think makes you good?
Well, my height has a little bit to do with it, but I also play basketball and I am getting a lot of rebounds usually. So I have a very good vertical, I could say. I'm not really sure what it is currently, but I do jump very high. And, in softball, you throw in a similar way to how you hit. So I do a lot of stuff like muscle building activities that relate to what I need to do for volleyball. So just kind of translated over sports.
Oh, that's really interesting that you had done all these things that led up to volleyball. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. When you're in season, how often are you playing?
So for high school, it's usually 2 to 3 games a week and we practice 5 to 6 days a week. And then for club, we practice 2 times a week, and then we have tournaments. It really depends on the season. We start off slow with tournaments, and then there's a solid 2 months where you have 5 or 6 tournaments at once. And so every weekend you're just away. It's kind of fun though.
And when you say tournament, you mean you go to a place and a bazillion teams come to that place and you just play all weekend?
Yeah, it's so cool because you go into this huge, massive arena looking thing. You go to a convention center, and I remember I went to, I think it was the Connecticut one that I went to. It was probably the first one I went to, and it was massive. I'd never been in a building that big. And I walked in and I see teams starting at kids 8 to kids that were 18. And you see girls teams, boys teams, and mixes of girls and boys teams. And it would be really fun to see how they were all organized, and you could walk by and you could see the different levels of play. And it was really cool to kind of find yourself placed among those people and move up to different courts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was awesome. I know there's a lot of teams that come from all over the world to play to some of these tournaments. We get California teams all the time. This one Canadian team, I've played them 3 times for some reason. And Yeah, we've played a Florida team a lot of times and like a France team. It's so cool to see all these different teams come together.
So you're a sophomore, but I know that recruiting happens earlier and earlier. So where are you with that now, and are you thinking about it?
So I have been thinking about it. I actually was just talking to my coach earlier today about it. I'm finding out my statistics soon, and I have like lists of colleges that I would like to go to. It's mostly local within New England. It's pretty good colleges. I'd say academically, I'm doing pretty well right now, and I have a lot of like extra activities that I do. I do sports. I'm going to be doing band for 4 years, 4 years of language. And so I think with a mix of that and the athletic component, I can create some opportunities for myself.
Right.
But I haven't really gotten started with the contacting coaches yet. I have a Huddle account and I have like highlights of me, but I'm waiting until the beginning of club season to really reach out to people.
What's Huddle?
So Huddle is an online sports like video platform, I guess you could call it. It records your games and then you can sort through the footage and create highlights of you. And it creates statistics for you, like your hitting percentage, and it can follow like the number on the back of your shirt. It's really cool.
When normally will colleges, contact you?
I have not been contacted actually, but I know for D1 schools, the recruitment usually starts anywhere from 8th grade to early sophomore year. And then D2 and D3 is sophomore year to junior year and like very rarely senior year.
What level are you looking to play?
I'm not really sure. I would hope for D2, D1. My height for the position I play, that would slow me down a little bit because D1 players are usually 6'1", around that, and I'm 5'10". But with a little extra jumping and some more vertical inches, I could make up for it.
Right, right. What does the letter say that you'll be writing? Like, hi, I'm interested?
So you start with your name and then you have facts about yourself, just basic like identification things like I'm class of 2022, I go to so-and-so high school, I've been playing volleyball for this amount of time, this is my height, this is my vertical, this is my attack jump. And then below all of that, you'd have, hi, I've been following your college team, your program for some time, and I've been really interested in it. And I think that I personally could be a good addition to your program or your team. And then below that, you'd have a bunch of informational links about like to your Huddle account or your highlights and just a bunch of like reasons why you should be on their team.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like just looking for a job letter.
Yeah.
How are you learning how to do this?
I've been doing a lot of online research. There's a NCAA website where they have a bunch of example letters. So I've been reading over those and kind of like coming up with outlines for my own. And I've been looking at all of the like recruitment lines that they have saying like these are the basic averages for these divisions and what coaches would look for. And it's just small things here and there of seeing people who went to really good colleges for athletics and just like getting subtle hints from like them saying this is how you can make yourself better or this is how you can get a college coach's attention and just small things that you can do here and there.
Has this been fun or has it been stressful?
A little bit of both. My parents right now, I'm trying to like explain to them the whole process, but I'm also a little bit lost and they are too. So we're kind of working it out as we go along.
Right, right.
It's a little stressful, but if you think of how good the outcome can be, it's exciting to like be in contact with certain colleges and like look at colleges that you'd want to go to and go to some of the college games because a lot of the colleges I'm looking at are in New England, which is where I am. And it's really easy just to drive up to Boston or wherever, Rhode Island, and watch a really good team play.
Yeah. Well, I think you're very lucky to have this skill and to be looking for colleges in that way. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you want to cover that I didn't ask you about?
So I haven't been playing volleyball for obviously as long as most really like higher level people would have been playing. But it's really interesting because this is technically the third team I would have been on, because last year for high school I was on JV, and then I was in my club team. We were called the 15 Diamonds, and then I'm now on high school varsity. And so it's really weird because I'm the only sophomore on varsity right now, and it's so weird to see this like transfer of people just get better over a small amount of time, because you see me, I had never played before starting last year. And then over club team, I was lucky enough to make the top club team for my age group. And it was a really good mix of girls. So we were all helping each other get better. And we were having perfect passes, perfect sets, and like perfect hits. And it was really cool to see everyone's like full potential. And then we all brought that back to our high schools. And now we're all playing each other. But it's really kind of weird to see how the connections can be so different between certain teams, because we all automatically connected, my club team, like right off the bat. But then if you go to high school teams, you're kind of running around to find certain people to fill certain positions a little more than you would in club. It's really weird to see someone surrounded by such a different like group of people and a different kind of level of play between one team, I think. But the best part about that is you can bring people up and you can be brought up yourself to a higher level if you play with higher leveled people. And I think that's one of the coolest things that I've realized about playing like a high intensity sport.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much. And I hope we can talk again further along in the process and find out how it's going.
Yeah, I'll totally keep you updated.
Great.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thanks for listening. It is always great to have you here. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the new Fast Track series. Email Elizabeth@hearhersports.com or call the new hotline at 725-BE-BADASS. I've really enjoyed hearing your voices, so thanks to everyone who has called already. We have a terrific lineup for the next couple of months. Stay up to date by subscribing to the newsletter at hearhersports.com. Design is by Agnes Studio and music by the band Goldmines. Until next time, bye-bye.
Whether you are a brand new runner or you've been running for years, there is always a new way that running can change your life, and this is what the Planted Runner is all about. Being planted also means you're ready for growth. You can start exactly where you are right now and get better. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and I've coached hundreds of runners of all ages and abilities with science-backed training, nutrition, and mental strength techniques. And on the Planted Runner podcast, I'll share it all with you. You can be a better runner at any age. I'll show you how.